Hey guys, thanks for joining me. My name is Dexter, and in this channel I talk about personal finance, credit, investing, as well as financial technology. And in today's video I'm going to be talking about how to understand your own personal cash flow statement. So what exactly is cash flow? Well, cash flow is the reflection of your financial health in a period of time. Just in the same way that your bodies need blood flow to circulate, cash flow is needed to circulate within your financial lives. And I know that sounds super corny, but I can make it another analogy right now, which I'm going to do, which is waterways. Rivers, they need to flow so the water doesn't get stagnant. So you need water flow, you need blood flow, and I guess you need cash flow. And for cash flow, it is essentially your cash inflows versus your cash outflows. And in a specific period of time, after deducting your cash outflows from your cash inflows, that's going to be giving you your net cash flow position. So your cash inflow includes things such as your active income, your passive income, and these could be examples such as your 9-to-5 job, your business, your side hustle, your rental incomes, your dividends that you get from your stock investments. These are all examples of your active and passive income, which are your cash inflows. Now for your cash outflows, these are your expenses, and they could be your necessities and your needs, such as paying for your utility bills, for your car insurance, your transportation, your medical bills, as well as for your housing and groceries. These are your necessities and they're your expenses. And then you might have your wants, which are things that you might want to buy. And these are your accessories that you want and things that might not be a necessity, but they're things that would improve your mental state of mind and your happiness, but they're not essential to surviving. So after you deduct your expenditures from your income, that would give you your net cash flow position. Now, what's interesting here is when you have your net cash flow position, once you understand where the rest of your money is going, it could either go towards your savings account or your checkings account, and maybe you can invest it in a stock, ETF, or a certificate of deposit. These are all examples of where you can then move your money. Essentially, you have your cash inflows, your cash outflows, and your net cash position. If you have a positive cash position, which means that you have spent less than you make, then all of that money that you could then reinvest and make into passive income could then be redirected back into the top of your own funnel, thus creating a larger cash inflow. And over time, as you start to track this over the weeks, months, or biannual or annual ways that you track it, then you can begin to improve your financial health. And these are just some of the thoughts that I have when practicing my own personal finance. I really like to think about liquidity, how much I have in cash versus how much I have in my investments, as well as how much I'm making and how much I'm spending. So these are all different levers that you can basically turn to adjust your cash flow. So, for many of us, maybe we don't have too many inflows at this point. We have, a few, maybe we have our job and we have a few passive incomes. But then the levers that we can turn is, where our expenditures are. But really tracking your cash flow is important, because what doesn't get tracked can't be measured, and what can't be measured, you can't essentially make improvements on in an intentional way. So for cash flow, that is a very important thing that I try to keep in the back of my mind, is even though I might not be on a daily basis tracking the different financial statements that I am spending on, I will track it on a monthly basis, because this helps me to then prioritize things that I might want to increase my spending on, what things I want to invest more on, or things that I want to start to cut my spending on as well. And you might be surprised if you haven't already started to look at your financial statements on a monthly basis, whether it's your bank statements or your credit card bills, to really see where your money is going. And it might really shock you to see that things that you found more casual, such as dining out, or maybe the different subscriptions that you have with maybe Hulu or Netflix or Disney Plus, these are all things that are eating away at your expenses. And the sooner you're able to then decide which ones you might want to reduce your spending on, this will benefit you and your cash flow to increase your cash flow position. And your cash flow position can be negative or it can be positive. And just because your cash flow position is negative doesn't mean that you don't have any money. It just means for that period of time that you're tracking, you spent more than you made in that period of time. So a cash positive position is when you have spent less than you have made for that period, and a negative cash flow position would mean that you've spent more than you've made in that period of time. And when you track your progress, as you begin to see those incremental improvements, that's where it also gets exciting as well. In conclusion, tracking and understanding your cash flow position can be beneficial in your financial health. And there are various ways that you can track your finances, and this includes maybe using apps such as Mint, Acorns, or Personal Capital. There are other ways of doing it in a more manual sense. Maybe you have a Google or Excel spreadsheet where you're tracking your financial statements. But at the end of the day, what we're aiming to do is we're able to track and see that progress over time. And I hope this video has provided you value. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, as well as ring that bell icon so you get notified when I do come out with more weekly videos about the topics that I've mentioned. And until next time, guys, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. My name is Dexter, and have a wonderful day or night.